Suppressed documentary evidence. Letter to Eisenhower, January 2nd, 1951. This document forms part of Volume 3 of the Record Appendix to Briefs for Appellants. It presents documentary evidence of correspondence maintained by Wilhelm Reich with the highest administrative and judicial authorities, including the exact names and entities contacted, dates, signatures, government seals, confirmations of receipt, and subsequent responses. The first document presented here is a letter addressed to General Dwight D. Eisenhower, followed precisely 7 days later by the response received from his office in Paris.
January 2nd, 1951. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, The Pentagon Building, Washington, D.C. My dear General Eisenhower, in these hard-pressing times, I do not hesitate to cut through all red tape and to approach you directly in the following matter. I have a most crucial confidential information to transmit to the highest possible agency of military intelligence regarding nuclear radiation. Would you kindly inform me which person in your judgment would be the most reliable one to turn to? Sincerely yours, Wilhelm Reich, M.D.
Wilhelm Reich was writing to one of the most powerful military figures in the world about an extraordinary, world-changing scientific discovery at precisely the moment when Eisenhower was trying to construct the military architecture of the Western world. The response, confirming Eisenhower's receipt, reached Wilhelm Reich only 7 days later.
Hotel Astoria, Paris, APO 55, the 9th of January, 1951. Dear Mr. Reich, General Eisenhower has just received your letter and the information bulletin of the Orgone Project, which was addressed to Washington and forwarded to him here. Due to the immediate importance of the tremendous task assigned to the General, he is unable to reply personally. Since the information to which you refer is confidential, the best agency to contact is probably the Atomic Energy Commission or the Central Intelligence Agency, both of which are located in Washington, D.C. Sincerely.
The information regarding nuclear radiation referred to in Wilhelm Reich's communication involved a project under the name of Orgone, which is an acronym for Orrized Anti-Nuclear Radium. That is, radium transmuted into a life-affirming agency as a result of exposure to concentrated orgone, or life energies radiation. 5.5 years earlier, the character of atomic power, in its most brutal expression, had been revealed and exposed by human deed through the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The immediate aftermath was witnessed in images that would haunt the world, images that spoke in a clear and terrible language of the nature of the laws governing atomic power. Shortly before the inception of atomic power on Earth, ushering in a new paradigm of fission and fusion, another message entered the world, also by means of science. It spoke in a clear and mighty language, the language of healing, of restoration, of continuation within a lawful living process, soaring above the slander, the lies, and the persecution enacted against any universal knowledge of its existence. In the midst of both revelations, the scientist that mastered the exact knowledge of the predicament that humanity found itself under was Wilhelm Reich, discoverer of the radiation emanating from the very force of life itself, the only power capable not only to counteract the antithesis force of nuclear radiation to life, but to transmute it into a healing agency to the same degree of fierceness otherwise applied to the destruction of life. This was the crucial information that was communicated to Eisenhower by Wilhelm Reich. For the Supreme Commander to have received Wilhelm Reich's letter, it must first have passed through the formal channels of military correspondence, its contents or circumstances deemed sufficiently significant for the communication to reach him personally. Yet this stands in stark contradiction to the image imposed upon the public by the mass media, that of a crank promoting a substance conjured out of thin air, something that did not exist, something unworthy of serious consideration. And so the record remains, two realities unfolding side by side, each bearing its own consequence. One was concealed, the other proclaimed. One entrusted to the judgment of those who received it, the other entrusted to the machinery of public persuasion. Yet time has a way of stripping away appearances. What was concealed may be recovered. What was proclaimed may be examined. And ultimately, the truth requires neither permission nor protection to endure. In the end, reality has its own law. That which is false carries within itself the seeds of its own dissolution, while truth brings forth its messengers to proclaim what is of eternal value, so long as there remains a soul capable of perceiving it.